What's up again, back row patriots? If you don't know me, hi, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer, and this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. So happy that you're here. So happy that you're able to join me today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want unfiltered commentary on cultural, civic, social issues from a faith-based perspective. All right, let's get right into it. Today's scripture, you can find it in Matthew 3. Give me a second here. Brace with me. Brace with me. Yes. All right. Matthew 3. And it says here in verse 25, it says, if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Love it. Love it. Because if a house cannot stand divided, it cannot stand. Because right now here in America, we are witnessing a division like no other time in American history. Let's talk about the Super Bowl halftime performance by no other than Bad Bunny himself. All right. The Super Bowl is not another concert. It is not a Coachella. Coachella. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm botching that word real badly, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. It is not a world tour. It is one of the last remaining cultural stages where the entire country pauses together. Blue states, red states, rural towns, big cities, families on couches, soldiers overseas. So when you step onto the stage, you are stepping onto American ground, symbolically and culturally. This is when the political conversation begins. And right now, we are already divided. When a performance leans heavily into language and messaging the parts of the country don't connect with, it can feel less unity and more like cultural separation. The Super Bowl has historically been a celebration of shared American identity, not a statement that highlights how fractured we are. And let's talk about the women. Some of the lyrical themes that Bad Bunny used associated with his music has been criticized for objectifying women. This is her America. Empowerment isn't performance for profit, it is dignity. And finally, patriotism matters. The halftime show should feel pro America, not perfect America, but proud America. Here's my belief. The Super Bowl halftime performers should understand the weight of this platform. Yes, artistic freedom matters, and so does national responsibility. When the country is watching, the message should unify, not divide. And in her America, we believe culture is celebrated, women are respected, and unity is non negotiable. And that is my 2 cents on what I think about Bad Bunny's performance on the halftime show. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not watch the performance. Okay. I didn't feel up to it. Okay. He was going to perform it in Spanish. I don't really speak Spanish. So I was just like, what's the point of me watching? I'm not going to even understand anything he's saying. Anyways, I've taken this time to understand that yes, it's great that we have a Hispanic representation on the national stage at the Super Bowl halftime performance. However, a couple years back, we had Shakira and J-Lo. I believe it was the year 2020, right before COVID hit. Shakira and J-Lo were performing on at the Super Bowl halftime show, and I thought that performance was great. You could tell that there was a Hispanic vibe to it through both performances, and they, especially with Shakira, and you could just, and it was just so uplifting. It was so like attractive. It was very dominating. I mean, I really love Shakira's part of the performance. I really love that she made a homage to not only Hispanic heritage, but also African heritage. And I also really like some parts of JLo's performance. I didn't like the stripper pole moment. It's like, this is not a gentleman's club. Like, you could leave the stripper pole at home, please. Like, like, okay. Anyways, there's that. So Bad Bunny, himself, he is very anti-America, and I don't really understand why the execs over at the Super Bowl management team, I don't know what you call it. Sorry, I don't really understand sports. Would decide to go with him. I think it's about pushing a message that shows that we are anti-America and we're anti the values that we stand on. And that's probably why they picked him. He probably wasn't the best pick. He can't have been the number one pick. There had to be somebody else that was like number one or even number two. And he was probably the last of the pile. And probably all the other performers were like, yeah, sorry, no, we're not going to do it. So they went with Bad Bunny. I think that, honestly, I think that that's what happened. I think Bad Bunny was never on the top of the list. He was just maybe fourth or fifth. Yeah, that's my 2 cents there too. Anyways, yes. So when it comes to Super Bowl halftime performance, it's so crucial that the performers understand the weight of the platform they're being given. You're not there to represent yourself. You're not even there to represent your music, even though people will come there and listen to your music. You're there to represent America and show why people are proud to call this nation their home. And that is what is missing. We have a lot of anti America progressives in Hollywood. We got a lot of them in the entertainment industry. We have a lot of them in the music industry. And it's getting upsetting at how a lot of these artists are coming out and spewing against nonsense, against ICE agents, against President Trump, and anything that seems conservative, Republican in sight. So, with this being said, I will I don't want to be critical of Bad Bunny himself, of his like Spanish heritage, because I believe that his heritage should be celebrated because he is an American, he's Puerto Rican, and Puerto Rico is a United States territory. So he is a part of the American culture, and he is, despite his music, some of the things that he says, talks about women, is seems degrading. Anyways, enough with that being said, I just think that he should have a better understanding of what the platform he was given and not take this time to divide, because he's saying this whole performance in Spanish, and you could tell in the audience and in camera nobody was really vibing because nobody could really understand what he was saying half the time. And for those who are making the argument, well, if you understood Spanish a little bit better in school, then maybe you would have joined the halftime performance. No, this is America is an English speaking nation. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of people here who come from other places around the world and speak other languages, and that is beautiful in itself. But when you're on a stage like the Super Bowl halftime show, you need to be able to communicate your lyrics, communicate your messaging to a way that the majority of the audience will understand. Just how when you go to France, you see them speaking French. You go to Germany, they're speaking Germany, they're speaking German. You go to Japan, they're speaking Japanese. Okay, why is it that everywhere around the world you can go and adapt to other people's culture, other people's way of life, but here in America we have to bend over backwards and almost to the point where we're crippling ourselves just to make others feel welcome? No, learn how to speak English, okay? And I know for a fact, but Bad Bunny can speak speak decent English. Okay, his English is probably better than mine. Just saying that, just putting that out there. His English is might be much better than mine. But yeah, this is her America, and this is the land of the free, the home of the brave. Thank you so much, Patriots, for taking the time out of your day to listen to this episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if in case you haven't, and make sure you give it a thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment and join in on this conversation. I'll see you guys next time. Love you all. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to This Is Her America. We're here to have the conversations others are afraid to touch. If today's episode challenged you, encouraged you, or gave you a new perspective, do not keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe, and join the conversation. Follow the podcast on YouTube and all major platforms, and stay connected, because this isn't just commentary. This is conviction. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, be bold in faith, and unafraid to stand. This is her time. This is her America. From yours truly.